Not to mention the fact that these white folk, they've been so disrespectful. You know, they inadvertently say things like the latest thing I think was said was that whole H&M scandal. Oh, coolest monkey in the jungle, right? Then everybody get behind that shit like, yo, they trying to call us monkeys. You know what I'm saying? And we all stand together, and then we see how strong we could be together. You know,
facts.
So
or even because if it's no Instagram, that picture get out to a little small Facebook or something.
That picture makes print.
Yeah,
it
like
makes print like you see it in a magazine next time.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Or you'll
definitely
you'll see it in the store and just send it to one of your friends, and it don't make no headlines. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it get to stay in our community. I definitely think that's definitely true. This is Instagram and this internet has definitely allowed black people to do
fucked
something.
it up, but you know, white folk love money so much, and they seen what the money was gonna do with the internet.
Facts.
So, you know, as a result, it meant that we had to come together eventually, and it's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to 10 years from now, what we gonna look like. You know, I think at this point there's really only one all-black suburban town.
Which is what?
It's in Maryland somewhere. I don't know which one it is, but
Maryland has them for sure. Oxon Hill.
Okay.
A lot of just outside of DC, PG County. A lot of black areas, man. Prominent too. Prominent black areas. I know a lot of good people out there. Definitely.
Dope. I haven't been, but outside of that, like where, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't call it, man. Maybe like you could say Baldwin Hills, but really I'll be basing that off the old TV.
How was it cutting white people's hair? That experience. Like, is it more difficult? Is it harder? Or your first time, was you nervous doing that?
White people hair is pretty easy. The only issue was when you get up to the top and it's a little longer and you got to do like the finger scissor cuts. Like that's something, you know, it's a little bit more difficult. You know.
Okay. Have you ever thought about hiring a white barber?
I would love to. I actually, you know, all this black talk, I must keep it real with y'all. I don't believe in an all black movement.
Yeah,
because the world does not consist of all black people. You know, and I would never want to leave anybody out. And then think about it. Everybody's kids, before they're taught anything, before they're taught different, they look at the world as it's one. You know? So at some point in time, everybody's kid has to feel left out. Like, oh damn, I can't say nigger, or damn, I probably shouldn't listen to rap music, or you know what I mean? But that kid was innocent at a point. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about any of that.
Didn't know anything, you know? So it's like, I feel like we shouldn't, as black people, return all this racial hate and bigotry with the same sort of movement. Like, I feel like we got to be careful with the whole black excellence thing. Like, we have to, because what we want to do is we want to create a whole new world, because everybody gonna still be here.
You know, I have enough. How many people have you taught to cut hair?
How many people have I taught to cut hair? Good question. Not many, bro.
Why is that?
I feel like the reason why I haven't taught many people to cut is probably because my aura is a little heavy for people to take in. Like, it's hard for another person to learn from another person, you know? And for a long time, nobody really wanted to be a barber. Nowadays, it's a barber age. Everybody wants to be a barber now. So I know that they're doing a lot of self-help. They're doing a lot of YouTubing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why come and learn from Fresh if I could pick it up on the YouTube, you know? But you would think, damn, Fresh got all these
Customers.
Customers.
Shop.
And shop and
Clippers.
Clippers. You know, I want to go to the source and learn. You know,
Mhm.
but it's.
So you think you would be
different.
open to that, like?
Oh, definitely. And then also, I never really set it up as a Fresh got a barber school. Maybe if I would have set it up as Fresh has a barber school, it would have been a different look. Mm-hmm. But for people to just come up to me and be like, "Yo, could you teach me how to cut?" You know, that's kind of different. And then the people that I did teach, a lot of times they were younger, and then once they kind of got out of high school, they got into whatever it is that they got into. You know.
I remember I cut hair my freshman year of college. I was learning from some dude too, around my way, but yeah, he was a good dude. He actually gave me a free pair of clippers, and he was just a good dude. He was an older dude, probably was like 60 or something. You know what I mean? He was a good dude. Gave me my first pair of clippers. I went to school. I ended up cutting a few people's hair, but this one but I met somebody up, and that's when it was over.
You ain't do nothing else after that?
Nah, I did like a few people after that, but I didn't really do nothing because, like, number one, it wasn't my passion. Like, I was playing ball too, and plus, like, it wasn't my passion to take.
Oh, you used to play ball?
Yeah, where it wasn't my passion to get through a hurdle. Like, you know what I mean? For that, like, say somebody tell me no in music.
Right.
That's not gonna determine. I'm like, it's a fight. You know what I mean? But at that time with cutting hair, it wasn't. I'm like, all right. But yeah, I was cutting hair. It was going good. You know what I mean? Getting money on college.
Yeah. You was really doing it.
Yeah, I was doing it. Like, yeah, I was cause my mom had always told me, like, yo, every black man should, like, have a trade. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, and so I went there, cut hair. I was cutting a few people hair. It was good. I was good just with the even cut and the shape ups. You feel me? That was it. That's all I really wanted to do. Then certain niggas come in with different textures. Then certain shit you ain't know niggas. I'm thinking everybody shit start at the middle. Like, you know what I mean? Then certain niggas shit starting at different places. I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, oh shit. Then I'm getting caught off guard. So I fucked up one person or whatever. He needed a taper. I should have just told the nigga I couldn't do a taper. But I did a taper on accident one time, and it looked perfect. Golden.
Right.
I'm like, oh, what that? And then I couldn't even do the other side that way. I'm like, fuck. But I'm like,
one side was perfect.
But I'm like, it's all good though. So I'm like, y'all could do it. Then I nicked somebody. But then the last shit that ended my career was when somebody came in. He said I needed a cut. I was feeling myself. Mind you, I wasn't even cutting. I wasn't even cutting for like 2 weeks. But like the customers started rolling in because it's college. It ain't no barber. It ain't shit. Like, you know what I mean?
College is really hard to get a fresh cut.
Yeah, word. So the customer, I'm
find
like,
a good barber too, cause it's not to interrupt you, bro.
Yeah, no, good.
In my experience, bro, in college, like, bro, it sucks to have to pay $20 and then like just to get fucked up.
Yeah, niggas not paying $20 in college
just
like,
to get
as freshmen.
You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? Like, niggas ain't paying $20 in college as freshmen, depending on what school you go to.
I know niggas that'll fuck you up and charge you $25.
Damn.
And be like, listen, the reason why it looked like this is because you didn't tell me to do it like this.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't tell me you had a calic up here, so that's why I fucked your shit up. But guess what? I'm still taking that $25 from you.
I got a good question for that too. So look, so the nigga came in, so I'm feeling myself, right? I'm like, I probably had like a little line. I was a celebrity barber, you feel me? Right. I had like a little line. It was like 2 people in there.
Right.
A couple of their homies, but it did add a little. Honestly, I didn't have any pressure until I fucked some shit up. That's when but like, you know
pressure came up.
I'm confident as hell. I'm like, this shit easy.
It was in his bag.
Well, I'm in my bag, definitely. Like, I'm like, shit lit. So I'm cutting here. I got 2 in the bed. Another nigga knock on the door. Like, yo, I heard you cut.
This shit looking promising, nigga.
I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, fuck work study. I'm like, we about to get rich. I'm like, we getting rich. You feel me? I'm like, fuck $5 an hour. We making $5 every 10 minutes in this motherfucker. So I'm like, all right, bet. So like a nigga came in, right? So I cut a nigga. He had the do-rag on the whole time. So I'm like, I bet you next. You feel me?
Right,
I'm getting niggas in and out. I got the little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm nigga getting in and out. He leave. He like his shit looking good. It was a nigga. He had an easy haircut though.
Right.
Feel me? He had an easy haircut. Little box shit. Feel me? No surgery required.
Caesar.
Feel me? He get out. I'm like, all right, but who next? My mans, he takes off the do-rag or whatever. I'm trying to think what I did to fuck his shit up. I know what happened. I thought I cut somebody's hair the front way.
Right.
And then I don't know what made me cut it against the grain, but I thought it did something different. I don't know what it do because I still didn't like do my research. You feel me? But like,
right.
I went against the grain on somebody and it didn't do that much. Mm-hmm. But I guess this nigga had a different hair texture.
Yeah, that's
so I went against the grain and I put I lowered the shit out of one spot. Like it was a bald spot. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta make his shit this low. You
all around and shit.
Like, but I didn't even do it this way. I did it. So I'm trying to make his shit low. So at this point, the energy's good, right? Everybody laughing. It's the new barber and shit. Mm-hmm. I cut his shit up. I stopped joking with niggas. I started sweating in that bitch. I'm like, yo,
bro.
I'm like, yo. Like, oh. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, ain't no way.
That's the most uncomfortable feeling.
And then I got 2 niggas next that I never cut. Mm-hmm. So they, you know what I mean? So they like,
yo, I'm done, yo.
So I'm like, so I know that like once this shit happen, like they gonna be like, oh shit, like what's good. So then the nigga, he got up, his shit was fucked up. Like it wasn't like a nick. His shit was fucked up. Like he probably remember that story to this day. He gonna tell his kids that shit.
So how was his response though?
Number one, it was crazy. We was in PA with it, and niggas on some hood shit definitely out there. His response was like, what could he do? Like, of course I couldn't charge him. He just was like fucked up. But the word has spread after that. Mm-hmm. You feel me? An incident on a college camp. You that nigga that fuck niggas' heads. That's not a good fucking look. I'm like, I can't be known for that. I'm like, even if I'm
you had to hang him up.
Yeah, well, I'm like, even if I'm a cool nigga, like a bad barber, that's you just corny. After that, like, it don't matter how cool you is. Mm-hmm. If you fucking niggas heads up, that's your. I couldn't let that message get to bitches. Like, if you mess one nigga head up, it's gonna get to a few niggas, right? And they'll get over after. If you doing it and bitches is around, start telling, oh yeah, he be fucking. Oh nah, I'm like, let me get the fuck up out this water. Like,
yo, who you went to, Tari?
Really? Like, he the nigga that be fucking niggas heads up. Like, nah, yeah. I couldn't do that. And then I fucked up. After that, I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna just try to do my own shit. I just went another route, like. Mm-hmm. But I mean, but word, that shit was crazy though. I mean, that shit was definitely crazy. But I definitely should get in. So, are you gonna get into hiring a white barber? It might be a dude that Seton Hall that need that practice. He bring all that Seton Hall clientele in there.
Definitely,
because he a nigga that, you know what I mean. That work in there. So
at some point in time, it'll happen. You know. Mm-hmm. Right now, I've recently, actually, it's been a year since I've joined forces with Bobby Trends.
Okay.
Hot 97 radio personality.
Tell us about that.
He and I, we 50-50 partners. Mm-hmm. You know, the best thing about it is, he's over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Mm-hmm. At least 4 times a week, he's on Hot 97. So we get consistent shout outs. It's just the best thing that could have ever happened to what was once Lucky 7 Expressions. When he and I started working together, mm-hmm. We changed the shop name to 7's Barbershop.
Okay, why 7's Barbershop?
Well, we just wanted to give it a new feel, mm-hmm. but still kind of keep it what it was. Everybody always associates the barbershop with the number 7. So mm-hmm. we just wanted to keep that the same, but just kind of, start it off fresh.
So what are some things that happened that took...
Whole new logo,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, get into more detail about... What are some specific things that had the shop moving in the upward direction, upward direction, positive direction?
Well, I think now it's more focused. Before it was a unisex. So we used to have male and female, which was dope because it was always good to have the females in the shop. You know what I mean? Along with the males. I seen so many people get married and, have from kids from meeting in
like
shop.
A barber and a beautician?
Absolutely, absolutely. But, just like everything in life, things phase out. And I just feel like that was just a point with the shop that original vibe. We're in business 10 years. So that part of the shop world kind of phased out. So but now it's a barbershop world. So it just made all the sense to kind of make it more focused. You
think the women were distracting?
I wouldn't say they were distracting because they were distracting because it was a lot of fine women, what I'm saying? But I think women, they like to be more, they do a lot of weave and, they do a lot of things that you wouldn't know it took for them to become who they are out in the street when you see them in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro, some of these weaves, they start out as cornrows to the back, bro. And then, so they look like Naughty by Nature back in the day. You know what I mean? And then, but when they finish, they out here looking like Rapunzel or Lil' Kim or whatever.
So was that not a good look for the shop? Like, how did that?
It was a good look, but I just feel
extra
like
expenses.
Nah, I just feel like what happened was all my stylists they were leaving. They were getting their own shops.
Oh, okay.
So I could count them. Like pretty much all of them left and just got their own
shops.
Yeah,
they was that ambitious. Is that
that's
all?
Man, it was like my spot was like a boot camp for people to get their own shops. Like, over the last, I swear to God, a cat would come in and be like, yo, Fresh, man, yo, give me a chance, Fresh. You know what I mean? I just want to come down here and cut, man. I'm like, all right, so. I like to go off people's word, but one thing you should do in business is have people sign contracts. You know what I'm saying? Because a barber will come in and say, "Yo, I want to come cut in your shop," and the next thing you know, they go right down the street. They go right up the street and open up on you, like countless times.
Damn.
And try to outdo you, and it's like, damn. You know what I mean? It's backstabbing, whatever. I guess you had to do what you had to do to get that bread, but shit,
Yeah, you got to follow the rules. It's an unwritten rule book, and sometimes definitely assuming that people read the same unwritten rule book that you read will leave you in fucked up situations.
And loyalty doesn't grow on trees, bro.
It don't.
It's that fruit that's at the top that you like, damn, how I'm gonna get to it? There ain't too many of it.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I bet. So I got one more question for you. My last question for you is pretty much, where do you see the shop in 5 years? And also, after that question answer, what are some other things that you're passionate about that you plan on doing that has nothing to do with cutting hair?
Right. Bet.
So the shop in 5 years and something that has nothing to do with cutting hair.
So, the shop in 5 years will become the mecca of all barbershops in the tri-state area.
Okay. I believe you, too.
And why I say that is because, again, the platform. Bobby Trends has his hands on all kinds of resources. I've cut all kinds of stars, So just the two of us and working together, and plus we have a great business relationship. We have a great friendship. You know what I mean? We have trust. So these things right here, they're very cohesive with the building of a business. You know what I mean? So it's just to a point where everybody knows who we are, and when you come down to 7's Barbershop, you saying to yourself, damn, I'm getting the best. So it's just gonna improve. You know?
Okay. And what are some things that you passionate about that you plan on dipping and dabbing in that's nothing to do with cutting hair?
Well, I started a company called the Cluster Group, right?
Mm-hmm.
The catchphrase is building community, building commerce, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all about rebuilding our community. You know, I'm a bit of a philanthropist, you know, and also rebuilding, you know, small businesses, you know, that need help, and helping them to basically build themselves to a franchise level so that they can branch out. You know, one thing we don't have as small businesses is a support team that kind of helps. Like if you look at Rock Nation, there's so many actors and artists and, you know, ball players, and these people, they don't really have a support team, but they get this bread. But they don't have nobody that can help them to take things to the next level. So that's my passion, is to help my community, and then at the same time help businesses become stronger and, you know, take it to the next level.
Okay, I bet. I rock with that, and I appreciate the answer, man. Definitely appreciate you coming through, my boy.
Appreciate you too, bro.
Yo, man.
I hope I wasn't too fucking nervous, man. This ain't my shit, but I really like shooting the shit with y'all, man. It was cool.